against economic hardship in the country. Now, the protest meant to register the displeasure of the protesters against the policies of the government of President Bola Tinubu is conceived to run for 10 days, except, of course, there's a major intervention along the line. On the first day of the protest, some states, mostly in the north, recorded massive destruction on both private and public property, prompting some governors to impose curfews. In Kano State, an ICT center that is supposed to provide training for youths in the city was burnt down and looted. Violence was also reported in Yobe and Kaduna states. In all, at least 4 deaths were recorded on the first day of the protest on Thursday, including one policeman who was killed in Kaduna. Now, in his briefing on the protest now, the Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun said events in major cities showed a high level of looting by hoodlums, even in places where there were court orders placing restrictions, forcing officers to use tear gas, in some cases to disperse the crowd. Take a listen to some of what he said.
Those who were in the forefront of promoting the idea of the protest were not around to lead it. Hoodlums have been let loose on innocent Nigerians and their hard-earned businesses and property looted and destroyed. The motive of the rioters was basically two: loot and destroy both private and government property. The destruction so far has been mind-boggling. There has been destruction in Kano, Borno, Yobe, Kaduna, Gombe, Bauchi, FCT, Abuja, Niger, and Jigawa. Police stations have been destroyed. There have been attempts to take over government houses, looting of government infrastructures. Several warehouses and shops so far have been looted, and in several instances completely destroyed. In spite of the refusal of the protesters, for instance in FCT, to adhere to a court order requesting that protests in Abuja should be at the National Stadium, they trooped into the streets, and yet the police provided security for them. At no point did we breach their fundamental rights, even as they breached court orders. In places like FCT, Kaduna, Kano, and Gombe, among others, we recorded incidents of unprovoked attacks on our security personnel, where one policeman has been reported murdered and others seriously injured. We wish to advise law-abiding citizens of Nigeria to heed and not dismiss warnings given by the police and other security agencies, which were based on credible and actionable security intelligence. In the light of the current situation, the Nigerian Police Force has placed all units on red alert. Our officers are fully mobilized and prepared to respond swiftly and decisively to any further threats to public safety and order.
Officers are fully mobilized and prepared to respond swiftly to and decisively to any threats now to public safety and order. Now, the second day of the protest was relatively peaceful and devoid of the violence we saw on the first day. Now, here are some of the sound bites from the protesters talking about their demands.
So right here in this protest ground, I want to let you know the reason why we are protesting. This is the reason. Hunger is the reason why we are protesting. Yes. This is rice. It's sold for 15,000 naira now. This gari is sold for 5,000 naira now. That is 20,000. This tomato per bed like this is 12,000. That is 32,000. This beans is 15,000. That's 47,000. So now this one can be consumed in 3 days. Yes. This one can be consumed in 2 days. This one can be consumed in 2 days also. This is beans. It can be consumed in 2 days as well. So now imagine spending 47,000 naira and it cannot last for 1 week. How much do you think that we can earn that will enable us to buy it for a whole 1 month for people who are working? You get me? And now this is why even this one, people used to use 15 naira. They use 15 naira to buy gari, use 15 naira to buy groundnut, and they'll be satisfied. They'll be satisfied. But now you cannot even see 15 naira on. You cannot even see 100 naira on. The groundnut, you can't see 100 naira on. So now people who were collecting 45,000, 40,000, then and this thing is 15,000. The people are still collecting the same money when this one was 400 and now it's 5,000. They are still collecting the same price. These people who were buying this thing for 800 naira, 1,000. This thing now is 12,000. They are still collecting the same salary. This thing was 2,000 something.
Yeah, two plus.
2,000 plus. Now it's 15,000.
Our demands remain the same. One, reversal of the removal of petrol subsidy. Two, the reversal of the policy to float the naira. Three, reversal of the increase in electricity tariff. Four, reversal of all the increased fees in all our universities, polytechnics, monotechnics, colleges of education, and all other higher institutions of learning. Our demand still remains fixing of the Nigerian refineries. Nigeria is the only country in the world, only oil-producing country in the world that depends 100% on importation for its local consumption. Even Angola, that we fought for their independence, that got independence just few decades ago, are producing some of their locally consumed fuel by themselves. Why in Nigeria? So these are some of our demands that we want the government to listen to. Nigerians are very hungry and they are very angry.
We want the government to reverse all anti-people policies it has taken so far, pre-May 29. The removal of fuel subsidy has done nothing but to reduce the lives of citizens to nothing. It has affected all sectors of the economy. We want things as simple as basic education, free water for all. The minimum wage has just been passed to 70,000, but we say that it is a pittance, it is a poverty wage, considering the inflation in this country. 70,000 cannot buy anything in the market. Government has to have conscience. They have to also show solidarity with the common people. When you ask people to tighten their belt, you should also tighten your belt at the top. Don't tell us why we cry that you are enjoying, you are eating. Why young Nigerians are crying? Why young Nigerians are going under? Don't tell us that you are eating. Why our farmlands are overrun by bandits, we can no longer see food.
So let's discuss all of this further now. I'm now being joined on the program by...
I give them 20,000 monthly for feeding, but today I give them 70,000 each. Look at the hike. Nothing has been added to my salary. Nothing has been added to my husband's salary. So for the three of them, instead of giving them 60,000 feeding for a month, that is how much? At 70 per child. You can just imagine.
As the demonstration progressed, the protesters re-echoed their refusal to restrict to confined spaces.
I do not agree with the judgment of that court, but I'm restrained and I have no option than to still abide by it. Because if I do not abide by it, it means that we are enshrining and enthroning
and have conducted themselves cordially and friendly, trying to organize peacefully as they did yesterday. They even extended cordiality to the police and have been holding speeches, just speaking to the issues. Up until a few moments ago, we saw thugs almost hijack this protest. I say thugs because they were clear about their intent. They told me specifically, and also told some newsmen, pressmen like yourself here and a presswoman, that one day they are going to behead them for the role they play in covering the agitations of citizens.
protest has been extremely peaceful.
Okay, may I leave now because I don't even know what I want just talk again. The thing don't tire me. Nigeria. Upon all these things, all this riot where still they go. President never even come and come talk. You pass the president even dey London or dey America, they enjoy itself. You say let them make them they do the riot for there. Make them kill themselves for there. If they do, them go tire. Now what if they go they talk now? Because if they do, they go tire. Many of them they even come up for the country now. Una know. Many of them, they don't come out for the country, they don't come out for Nigeria. All the old senator, all the big people wey dey on top, many of them don't come out. Then they London, country where another man build. Their whole country, they no even fit build am. But they run, they go another man country where another man build, where they settle down build. But their whole country where they for the chop money, they chop million of a million. They no fit repair am. Shame of all the old senator, the president, all of una wey dey on top. Shame for all of una. Una no fit repair una dey run, dey come abroad. Abroad where another person repair, no be man like una repair am. No be man like una repair abroad. Una no dey shame, na to sit down for there. Yes sir, na collect money. If na to collect money, una know. But una do good thing for una country, una no go do. Shame for all of una. Una dey run dey come. One day, this place where una dey run dey come, they go pursue una. They go say more una go repair una country. They no go even control una because all the old people wey still there, all of them still corrupt. All of una na decent thing. Abeg all my subscribers, may God bless una. Happy new month. Una bye.